Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance from the House of Prada. A new released in I believe September of towards the end of last year, 2012, and that is Prada Luna Rossa. Here is the fragrance. The bottle, I'm not too much of a fan of. It looks kind of like, the design is interesting. This is plastic. This is my main gripe right here on the cap. You can see the cap says remove before using and reposition when traveling. It's a cap basically, and it's this cheap little plastic thing. There's absolutely no, creativity or design to it. You have to keep it, because if you don't and you take it with you, it'll press down on this and inadvertently spray it. So it is a cap and it is cheap. Pretty much no way around that. And what's even worse is you kind of have to really position it. Kind of weirdly. As you can see, I don't like it. Yeah, there we go, back on. So it's really cheap. Not really a fan of the thing. But either way, onto the review. Again, it was released in 2012. It's available in a couple sizes, but the two primary obviously are 50 milliliter and 100 milliliter. 50 milliliter is going to run you about low 60s, $62, and the 100 milliliter is going to run you about $82, and that's obviously a retail price. I'm not sure if you can find it pretty much for a bargain at this point, just because it still is so new, but those are the prices. The parfumée is Daniela Cindrier, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Again, probably butchering her name. In either case, she's done stuff like Gucci Envy. She's done a lot of the Prada line. She's done a couple of the Armani fragrances as well. And there's some other Gucci fragrances that she's done too. So she's had her way in the fragrance world. So with that, let's get on to the actual scent itself. Starting off with the notes. At the top, we have Lavender Absolute and Bitter Orange. In our mid, we have Clary Sage and Spearmint. And in our base, we have Ambrette Absolute and Ambroxan. So just a refresher for those of you who don't know, Ambrette Absolute is kind of like musk, and Ambroxan is kind of like an ambergris-ish substitution type thing. All right, but with that, this lavender, that's what I get when I smell this. Lavender in different forms, especially when you first spray it. I get a lot of lavender and spearmint at first. It oscillates between lavender and spearmint and lavender and sage. Those two kind of mix together. And for that, when I first smelled this, I thought instantly another soapy scent from Prada. Prada, to me, is known for its soapy-ish scents. That's kind of their vibe. And Luna Rossa is really no different from that. Very soapy. But again, the flip turn to soapy is that it often translates to being safe, and it is safe. There aren't many people who don't like the smell of soap, and that goes along with Luna Rossa as well. Now, early on, I remember looking at some people's reviews and reading some people's reviews, and basically seeing everyone saying how they got a lot of citrus on it, and for me, it was farther from the truth. I wasn't getting a lot of citrus until the dry down. Once you get into the dry down, for me, after about half an hour, is when I start getting a very pleasant citrus blast. Not really bitter orange, but it's definitely oranges and lavender kind of put together. Mint goes away, and it becomes oranges and lavender. That produces a very interesting scent. When I first spray it, again, lavender and mint, which kind of gives it this aquatic-ish type feel. It almost reminds me a bit of rain. Out in the open, not really the ocean, but a bit of rain, kind of like in Midland or something like that, is what Luna Rossa kind of gives me. And then it turns into, like I said, lavender and citrus, like bitter orange type-ish area. I get a little bit of musk, but not really. And in the end, overall, the feel is kind of rough-ish. But overall, it's a pretty pleasant scent, but not really one that I would write home about. Take that with what you will. So, sprays. I would recommend anywhere between 3 and 5 sprays. It works great for work. If you're looking for a work fragrance, especially if you work in the professional setting, look no further than Luna Rossa. Excellent scent for that. I don't really find it really great for any other types of situations outside of work. I mean, it can go as a casual scent for all you want, but I really think it shines in work just because it is that type of inoffensive scent that people are going to love, or at least tolerate, all right, and think you smell good without being obnoxious. Work fragrance, definitely. Spring and summer is the best time for this. Performance is one of the issues to me on Luna Rossa. Now, Ambroxan is generally used to kind of give fragrances better performance, as from what I've found, generally seeing it in notes. But for this one, I guess the fragrance, it lasts anywhere between 6 and like 9 hours for me. Now, there are many times where it lasted only 6 hours for me and it was gone on my skin. The other thing is, as far as projection goes, it doesn't really project that well. It leaves a nice scent trail, has great sillage, and as you move around, people will smell whiffs of you and stuff like that. But as far as actually it projecting, it doesn't really do that much. And again, it's spotty. It's all over the place for me. I still, even after testing it, I tested this for like 2 weeks. I still can't really get a feel for its true, performance, if you will. So, if you have great performance, you might experience great performance, and you might experience horrible performance. But either way, that's one thing to keep in mind on this one. Any age group can wear this, and again, performance. So as far as what other people said, again, this was one that I took as a survey and had people smell in Times Square. And there were 63 people who liked it, 10 people who disliked it, and 27 people or so who thought that it was okay. Of the people who liked it, they really liked the lavender, the soapy-ish type feel. The people who didn't like it, didn't like the lavender soapy-ish type feel. Of the people who liked it, I have to say the majority of people who liked this one were women. So if you're looking for a scent that might be a little bit of a female pleaser, but not necessarily something that's a drop-dead one, look at Luna Rossa. This actually is a scent that kind of makes me feel that it's better for women to actually wear. I'm not saying that it's a female scent. I'm saying that when I smell it, when I kind of look down in my heart of hearts and think, I really wouldn't mind smelling it on a woman. So again, and I'm really not saying that it's a female scent or it's more suited for females. I think that it can work just as easily for women. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So, if I'm going to give this one a rating, I'm going to stick with 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is the rating that I'm going with, mainly because plus side, excellent work fragrance, excellent safe fragrance. There are not going to be many people who dislike or think you smell nasty when you smell this one. The orange lavender blend, I think that it turns into something beautiful, and I like that, and I think it's pretty unique in that aspect. On the flip side, the downside, it does have a side to it that really is kind of generic and doesn't really stand out. It has this calming quality to it, but to me, it's not really a great calming quality. Like Cartier Roadster is a scent that I really like to wear in hot summer months because it has that minty spearmint-ish, cooling type of quality. This has the minty, spearmint-ish type thing, but it's not really the same, and that's the best way I can actually describe it. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, let me know, leave me a note, send me a message, do whatever you gotta do. Thank you, take care, and have a great day.